Well, it's been a pretty rough Friday. Many of you, I heard about the death of Kevin Conroy. It's something I never imagined that I would hear so soon. Like many of you, I was a big fan of Kevin's. I loved his portrayal of Batman, be it the cartoons, the video games, and so on and so forth. And I even remember seeing him play Bruce Wayne in a live action for Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was pretty awesome, and I've seen his other work. I wanted to give my own thoughts on how Kevin Conroy impacted me. When I was younger, my dad would rent a lot of Batman cartoons, like Batman animated movies. I vaguely remember watching Batman and Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero, Mask of the Phantasm, the Batman Superman movie, the animated one. You might know what I'm talking about. And even Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. I don't remember a lot. I've had to rewatch it, and thankfully these animated movies have held up a lot better than most nostalgic animated cartoons nowadays. And while I was never familiar with Kevin Conroy, the name, I was somewhat familiar with the voice, like a deep voice that almost reminded me of my grandpa. Yeah, it's gonna sound dumb. My Kevin Conroy kind of reminded me of my grandpa on my mom's side. Something about the deep voice. But it wasn't until, and I remember when I was in elementary school when one of my teachers told me that Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, voiced the Joker in a lot of those cartoons. And to a kid like me, I was like, no way! Luke Skywalker was the Joker? So, yeah. I think it's because of Mark Hamill that I knew about Kevin Conroy years later. When I was 13, I felt nostalgic and I wanted to rewatch some of the Batman cartoons. Like, I decided to rewatch Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, and I didn't realize that Kevin Conroy was voicing Old Man Bruce Wayne and also the Batman in the flashback.
I'll break you in two. Batman.
So I was curious to know about the actors that voice all the characters. So I looked up Kevin Conroy on IMDb, and I noticed that, well, he not only voiced Bruce Wayne and Batman on Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, and the series, he had also voiced Batman in various other cartoons like Batman the Animated Series, The New Batman Adventures, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League, Static Shock. It was amazing. Like, this guy had voiced Batman not once, not twice, but so many times it's not even funny. He even voiced other characters for other cartoons, like the Batman. He was John Grayson, Dick Grayson's father. And he also voiced Batman of Zur-En-Arrh and the Phantom Stranger on Batman the Brave and the Bold. So he had voiced various other characters, and he was in live action stuff like Cheers, and even played John Lawrence and Ted Kennedy. And this guy amazed me, and when I looked up the IMDb trivia, I learned that he had gone to Juilliard with actor Christopher Reeve. Yeah, Christopher Reeve, best known for playing Superman. So this guy amazed me. I thought he was the coolest guy ever. And, well, in a way, Kevin Conroy was to Batman what Mel Blanc was to Bugs Bunny. I'm sure that's a very weird comparison to some, but think about it. Mel Blanc entertained millions of children with his performance as Bugs Bunny, and Kevin Conroy practically did the same when he voicing Batman for these cartoons, movies, and video games. In fact, I remember a funny story. I got a poster of Injustice, the video game, because I'm actually a fan. And my friend, Heather Parks, who I went to high school with, she gave me the exact same poster. I didn't want to throw it out to be rude. I was like, I promised Heather, hey, one day I will try to get the voice actors to the video game to autograph that poster. Thankfully, Tara Strong did, but Kevin Conroy never did, but the letter didn't come to him, so I didn't see it as a big deal now. But 4 years after I finally got the Tara Strong to autograph my Injustice poster, this was during the pandemic. I was able to order an autograph online from Kevin Conroy, and I put it in my scrapbook. I never had the pleasure of meeting Kevin Conroy, but at least I got his autograph. To Tony, I am Batman, Kevin Conroy. So yeah, I still have it in this autographed scrapbook. It's definitely the greatest treasure ever. You've seen me show off the autograph before. But yeah, Kevin Conroy was the voice I imagined whenever I read a Batman comic, no matter what. And I was very excited when he, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong were returning to voice their respective characters for Batman the Killing Joke. I'm still going to defend the movie no matter what. You can quote me on that. And, Kevin Conroy practically impacted a lot of people, like Kevin Smith. And the fact that he was openly gay, I didn't know that he was gay at the time. I found out 3 years ago, and I thought, well, hey, as long as he finds someone that loves him, that's all that matters. And I'm sure he was a role model to a lot of people of the LGBT community. And it breaks my heart knowing that I'm never going to meet him. But I at least got a cameo from him. I cobbled together that video of him reading The Raven with myself reading it. But here's the full clip for your convenience.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare, the radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently, my heart grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you were tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhere louder than before. Surely, said I, surely, that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutters, with many a flirt and flutter. In there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above the chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, are sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on this raven's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled, this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. Okay, Tony Garcia, you got a mouthful of the raven from me. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, Tony, it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Take care.
Kevin, you've done so much for us. We will miss you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for entertaining me, entertaining my friends, my family, everyone else. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. We will miss you.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman!